And it all changes when Bill Clinton sends his terror team down there, one of which said he raced down there to save, I raced down there to save as many people as possible. Then through an FOIA request, they found out that he was in a hotel 10 miles away the night before. Oh, it's all, and then Wackenhut guards guard the debris so nobody can investigate. Thank God for people like Colonel Paul Craig Roberts that really put out the truth. I mean, this is in an age before the internet was anything. This is when you could instant message on the internet. Nobody knew what was going on. Nobody understood that if you looked at the actual seismic reports, it showed the explosion came out from the building, not pushed into the building from a Ryder truck. A Ryder truck, by the way, which was photographed on a military base in Oklahoma only weeks before. What the hell was a Ryder truck doing at a Oklahoma military base if it wasn't involved? Then you find out that McVeigh was on military bases for over a year after he was supposedly out of the military. And he was sending his sister letters telling her he was part of a black ops program. Just type in McVeigh, military base. Hustler broke the story of all people. Big ups to Larry Flint for that one. You know, it's not just beaver hunt over there. Sometimes they actually do real journalism. You know, oh, Jason Bermas just promoted a pornographer. He's bad. He's a bad guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm trying to tell you the truth. All right? She puts McVeigh in this like he's an actual terrorist. No, you set him up. You set him up. And he ain't a good person. He was involved in these black ops to be a patsy. He probably did some really vile, disgusting things. But you know what? It's a false paradigm that they create in your mindset. So, oh yeah, we have to protect against right-wing extremism. We don't want them blowing up another building. I was briefed on the general topic, which is one that struck a nerve as someone personally involved in the Timothy McVeigh prosecution. Yes, that's right. Napolitano was involved in prosecuting this guy. You don't think she's a demon? You don't think she knows what's going on? Give me a break. Disgusting. Let me be very clear. We monitor the risks of violent extremism taking root here in the United States. What violent extremism? The things that you listed, no one's out there shooting anybody. No one's out there pushing anybody around. No one's using violence. If you're anti-illegal immigration, supposedly you're plotting terror, violent extremism and terror on the border. Never happened. No precedent for it. They just make the blanket statement and demonize everybody. We don't have the luxury of focusing our efforts on one group. No, because if we actually did focus on Islamic extremism, it wouldn't work because Islamic extremists didn't pull off 9/11. They know that. That's right. They didn't pull off 9/11. We had drills of running planes into buildings as it happened. Okay? We had drills like Operation Jackal Cave going on that day. Give me a break. Drills of hijackings taking place at the same exact time. I mean, how naive and dumb are we as a populace? Sickening. Sickening. We must protect the country from terrorism, whether foreign or homegrown, and regardless of the ideology that motivates its violence. Remember, the war on terror was over, but it seems like everything is still terrorism. And we're going to stay in Afghanistan, and we're going to stay in Iraq. And she's just another talking head. She's just another face for evil. Chertoff was just as bad, if not worse. We are on the lookout for criminal and terrorist activity, but we do not, nor will we ever, monitor ideology or political beliefs. That is a total lie. That is a straight up total lie. If you read the DHS documents, they tell you they're doing it. They admit it. Read the Virginia Fusion Center document that's 225 pages long, and it tells you they've been surveilling all these groups. Every one of them. But nah, you won't read it. I made that document up. I mean, we must have made that up. We take seriously our responsibility to protect the civil rights and liberties of the American people, including subjecting our activities to rigorous oversight from numerous internal and external sources. I am aware of the letter from American Legion National Commander Renbin, and my staff has already contacted him to set up a meeting next week once I return from travel. I will tell him face to face that we honor veterans at DHS and employ thousands across the department, up to and including the deputy secretary. Yeah, except for the ones that might actually challenge your belief systems, the ones that know the truth, the ones that believe in the Constitution and Bill of Rights and the oath they took to protect it against enemies, foreign and domestic. It's the InfoWarrior. We'll be back. Next segment, we are going to go to Jeff, Aaron, Stephen, and Joseph For the e-cigarette contest, we could be covering current events, we could be covering my films, we could be covering Alex's films. Anything out there, it's really going to be the jeopardy of the info war. But we have another caller who is not interested in any of the e-cigarette business. Let's go to Josh in Tennessee. Josh, what's on your mind?
Hey, Jason, how's it going, man?
Good, man.
Yeah, basically, there's so many things I could talk about. I just really don't even know. I guess the thing I wanted to say was, like, in light of biblical prophecy and stuff like that, you know, you read the book of Revelation and things like this, how do you see that stacking up with what's going on right now as far as the New World Order and, you know, like complete enslavement and all that stuff?
Well, you know what? I'm not a very religious guy. However, I will say this. Revelations is not only my favorite book, it's one hell of a book, pun intended. You know, there seems to be a lot of parallels out there. You know, I would be a fool to say that some of the things listed in there, such as the mark of the beast, the fact that the people that actually rule the world pose as Christians, but are actually into the occult, the fall of Babylon, all this stuff, wars, all these things do seem to coincide with the book of Revelations. However, I take a more secular approach on all religion in general. I mean, I'm not here to say what I know because I don't know. All right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor. I grew up Christian. You know, I think people would be foolish not to look at the information. And I would encourage people who are actually Christians out there to, you know, actually embrace a Christian philosophy, and that's love thy neighbor. That's everybody, whether you agree with them or disagree with them. You know, but I see so many people who are of the Christian faith that are just attackers of, like, I'm not even going to say it because they want to attack and feel high and mighty. Listen, I encourage people.
Man, go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, okay? All I'm going to say is people would be foolish if they didn't look into that book, if they don't look into the fact that a lot of these Christian conservatives out there aren't Christian conservatives, but they're leading large flocks really to their demise, you know, and to their enslavement, which is also predicted in the Bible. Look, man, I don't know everything out there. I happen to be a big fan of the first Zeitgeist movie, if for the only reason to show people that, hey, paganism worked its way into Christian dogma in the sense that, you know, Easter and the Easter eggs and the Easter bunny, that ain't Christian, you know, and Christmas, December 25th, hold on, I'll let you talk in a second. December 25th isn't the day that Jesus was born, and a Christmas tree is a pagan symbol. I mean, I could go on forever, you know, the parallels to sun worship. What it shows me is that these pagan religions are still around, and it happens to be the elite that believe in them. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, just one more quick thing. I wanted to give you some kind of encouragement. I was driving down the road the other day. I'm rocking the InfoWars bumper sticker on my truck, and I pulled into work, and a guy pulled in next to me. He noticed my bumper sticker. We got to talking. He's been a long-time listener. I'm a relatively new listener, just recently subscribed to Prison Planet.
Awesome, man.
And we just got talking and things like that. He gave me his email, but, you know, that's kind of encouragement for you guys. I mean, people are, you know, hearing the truth about all this stuff that's going on, you know, with the NWO and whatever.
Well, you know what it is? It's also a thing called the law of attraction. Now, you have that bumper sticker, so you're showing other people and you're putting it out into the universe that you are an info warrior. You enjoy Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, their perspective. Now, someone sees that, they pick up on that law of attraction, they're immediately attracted to talking to you and discussing things with you. And that's not to say that you won't talk to people outside of that, but maybe you'll network with this guy. Maybe you start a chapter of We Are Change. You don't even have to do that. Maybe you hand out DVDs one day. Maybe you do something on the 4th of July this year. That's how things get going. And if we are more outward in our beliefs, if we do rock more Don't Tread on Me t-shirts and Investigate 9/11 shirts, and we always have a copy of Loose Change Final Cut or the Obama Deception that we burn with us, we can reach so many more people. And I know we're having an effect when YouTube and Google are banning our channels. I thank you for the call, Josh. All right, on the other side, the long segment, we're going to have this contest for the e-cigarette. I know I'm hyping it up, but it is a cool little thing for those who haven't seen it. I mean, it looks like a little cigarette. I know I got some crap on the YouTube. Jason shouldn't be smoking. I'm not smoking. I'm not a smoker. Okay, this has no carcinogens in it, no tar. It has the nicotine. I'm not saying it's 100% great for you, but it's a way for you to actually quit smoking or smoke inside and get your fix. I mean, if you live in New York, it's cold during the winter. You don't want to leave that bar. We'll be back after this. All right, folks, we are back. And as promised, we're going to have this little contest here. I'm going to give everybody 10 seconds to answer each question. If you don't get it in 10 seconds, I'm sorry I'm going to have to pull you. We're in the internet age, and everything I ask could be looked up like that. So either you know it or you don't. Hopefully we're gonna play the honor system, and no one's sitting there on a keyboard with every question I ask. But maybe I can fire them off quick enough that you can't even Google it. We'll see. All right, let's start it off with the first 3 questions going to Jeff in Pennsylvania. Jeff, are you there?
Yeah.
All right, first question, Jeff. What country's leader today